And there it goes. Dang. Says it's going. There it goes. Huh. So, let's see, that was the rising action, wasn't it? There was an offhand comment that the AI added in that I think I actually wanted to write a scene of. I minimized these and I don't remember how to. Okay, chapter 10, you say. Chapter 10. Got some coffee, which is helping because I've been struggling with the operating system today. I think I got it fixed. Let's see, structural frame, compromised 17 locations, important so, essentially sheared away. Okay, that's the sentence I want. Copy. Go to chat. Context. That would be chapter 11, I think. Wouldn't it? Chapter 9. Chapter 11 would not be it. Scene 2. Chapter 9. Come on. Chapter 9. I can't even remember what I'm doing. I'm just looking for context. Chapter 9. Specifically, scene 2. Give me a scene S-E-N-S. Brain. Oh, it's S-C. God. S-C. No, not a B. God. How much is the saber-toothed kitty, the one with the 6-inch fangs? Is it wild? Is it pretty? Can it hang? Can it hang? I see it in the window glowing with eyes that pierce the night. Can That was General Claude. No, that was Claude. It's superheated plasma. Because, you know, doesn't plasma imply that it's superheated? Uses massive centaur-like bite to physically block the rupture of resin. Turn down the gore a bit. Let's see. Chief Engineer Morok makes the ultimate decision when the primary coolant line ruptures during the battle with mysterious emergency alarms blare and automated systems failure. Let's see. Probably after Tina initiates the rewrite, the rewiring of the systems, because they're not designed for that. With evacuation impossible, lives of everyone aboard at stake, Morok positions his massive centaur physical seal to breach using his weight and strength to hold the fractured line closed. The radiation warnings on his suit flash critical as he maintains his position, his face set with grim determination despite the obvious pain. The remaining engineering crew frantically work to reroute systems while Morok, voice stay despite his situation, calls out critical override sequences. His exoskeleton begins to show stress fractures from the pressure and the exposure, but he refuses to move. As his strength begins to fade, Morlock locks eyes with Tina across engineering silently, passing responsibility to the young cadet with unwavering dedication to duty. He maintains his position until the emergency containment field finally preventing system failure. As the field engages, Mark slumps forward to sacrifice, having saved the ship but cost him everything. The moment demonstrates the harsh reality of service and raises the stakes dramatically, showing that even senior officers aren't safe. It also forces Tina in the position of unexpected authority, testing where theoretical knowledge can translate the real world. We can copy that. Chapter 10, we want chapter 9. That was her getting to engineering. Torin? Why is Torin here? See, Tina's hardest pound of frantically against her exoskeleton as she assessed the gyro controls of forces nervously. Her hands move with practice precision. She could somehow create a dynamic field continuously shifting around as instant. Exoskeleton plate shifting an alarm sounds kind of painful, actually. Be like my fingernails tweaking out. Lights throughout engineering flickered and died. Let's put it here. But we have to remove references to him after that point because he's kind of dead. The chief and engineer. He's not named. Among enlisted. Well, let's pull the trigger on this. Took me a few minutes to realize that the button was right there. Now, I'm gonna go rinse out my coffee cup since the AI is writing. When it's blue like that, that means it's still processing. When it turns pale blue, it means it's done. An invisible quantum pulse struck the entity with pinpoint precision, creating a visible distortion across its metallic surface. The humanoid form shuddered, its movements became momentarily erratic as the concentrated burst disrupted whatever it sought. Technology, is this basically a repeat? Hmm. In reality, reasserted itself with brutal efficiency. The targeting array exploded in a shower of sparks and molten components. I hate it when my components melt. And the overload traveling back through the ship systems faster than emergency cutoffs could respond. A deafening crack echoed through engineering as the primary coolant line for the drive core ruptured, venting superheated plasma into the cover of the emergency force field circuit that contained the breach, flickering weakly as the ship's damaged systems fought to respond. Cool it, Brent, somebody shouted over the wailing alarms. Core temperature rising beyond critical thresholds. Chief Engineer Morok pushed through the chaos, his massive form moving with surprising speed despite its bulk. His exoskeleton plates clicked with tension as he assessed the situation, tail lobes twitching in agitation. Readouts told a grim story. Without coolant, the drive core would breach in minutes, taking the entire ship with it. Evacuation procedures, he ordered, voice cutting through the pandemonium. All non-essential personnel that escaped pods immediately. Even as he gave the order, the ship lurched. Through the viewport, Tita can see the entity recovering, its form stabilizing as it oriented toward them with unmistakable purpose. The containment field is failing, a junior officer engineer reported, panic edging into his voice. Automated systems can't compensate for the pressure differential. Morok moved to the ruptured line. Morok? Moved to the ruptured line, his expression hardening as he studied the damage the coolant was venting through a jagged tear near a meter long, with the emergency force fields already beginning to feel under the strain. There's no time, he said quietly, then louder. Everybody out, clear engineering now. As the crew hesitated to reward, that's an order, move. Tina stood frozen, watching Morok approach the rupture, understanding dawned with horrifying clarity. Chief, no, she began, but he cut her off with a sharp gesture. Manual override sequences Alpha 7 Taurus Epsilon, he said, his voice suddenly calm. I guess they have the equivalent of Latin. As he positioned his massive body against the rupture. You'll need it to stabilize the secondary systems once I've sealed this. Before anyone could stop him, he pressed his body into the breach, using his weight and strength to physically seal the ruptured line. His exoskeleton creaked under the enormous pressure. Go, he ordered through gritted teeth, his voice strained but steady. I can hold this until the emergency containment field recharges, then you need to reroute the secondary cooling systems. Tina hesitated only for a moment before racing to the control panel. An injured leg forgot with the rush of adrenaline. Her fingers threw across the interface, implementing the override sequence Morok had called out. As Mark, his voice grinding with each passing second. Through the corner of her eye, she could see the chief's exoskeleton begin to crack more severely under the pressure, his body trembling with the effort of holding back the forces that would instantly have killed anyone else. Vac-suit can do a lot, but... It duplicates at the beginning. Target arrays explode, so they can't do anything else with it. So... If I get rid of these 3 paragraphs, I wonder if that worked. Oops. Paragraphs? Let's see. Let's see, so the chief engineer doesn't show up anywhere else. Let's delete this one paragraph and see how it reads. Let's have the AI look at it. Context, scene. Scene 2.
Looking for you to go. No, it's freak. Nowhere to be. Then free, set me free.
Does scene 2 flow well? What I should be doing is just reading through it. I'm wondering if that new scene put a hiccup in it. I'm not sure if the AI would be able to pick up on that. On scenario, cadet being called to assist with a technical problem escalating a full-scale crisis possible. Anything that defies the laws of physics. Smooth escalation of tension. The progression from routine assignment to existential fit feels natural and well placed. Each development logically follows from the previous one. Character reactions. Tina's response to events feels authentic, allowing readers to experience an increasing danger through her perspective. Move complex sci-fi concepts into the action without halting the narrow for exposition dumps. Movement from supply station formula into demonstrated engineering by alpha natural. Chief engineer. Okay. And then later referred to as Morok without explanation. Okay, yeah, there's an error.
Can it hang? I see
I think I like Marin better.
with eyes that pierce the night. Can it come where I'm
Technical
going?
detail, the quantum mechanics explanations are interesting. Let's slow the action during critical moments, consider streamlining.
Six-inch fangs grow.
Sees primarily with teams persuaded occasional drift toward instant increases maintain.
Japanese delight. Wish that it was mine. How much is that kitty in the window now? 6-inch fangs so pretty makes my heart say wow.
Really took
Wow. Sharp teeth like
in
no
this
other.
style hookup
Eyes that
points for
pierce
this
my
seems
soul.
next direction rather than generic. Is this the beginning of something more
Every
question?
time I wonder if it's
Seems
mine to hold.
successfully established this. Yeah.
Moonlight dances on its
Matter,
fur.
matter, matter.
Ancient secrets in its gaze. Will it stay or will it stir? In this city's neon maze. Meow, meow, roar. It sings to me. Wild and fierce. My fantasy. Meow, meow, roar. It's wild and free. Saber-toothed cat forever in my reverie. Saber-toothed kitty in the window, 6-inch fangs on your face. Cost is high, but love is higher.
There
Kitty
has to
purrs
be a
all
search
day
function in
long.
here. I mean, they got everything else.
Shopping dreams come true. Furry friends with fangs for you. Love at first sight, I must say. Take the kitty home today.
Yeah. Insects, I think, crawling up my leg. Arrgh.
How much is a saber-toothed cat in the window? One of the
This Commander
6-inch fangs
Torin
of
bugs
sweet.
me.
Eyes like amber fire, fierce and aglow, heroic of ancient times, untamed and beguiled. Meow, meow, roar, it sings to me. Wild and fierce, my fantasy. Meow, meow, roar, it's wild and free. Saber-toothed cat forever in my reverie. How much is the saber-toothed kitty, the one with the 6-inch fangs? Is it wild? Is it pretty? Can it hang? Can it hang? I see it in the window glowing, with eyes that pierce the night. Can it come where I'm going? Hope it's friendly, not a fright. How much is a kitty in the window, saber-toothed and fierce? 6-inch fangs grow, look into its eyes. Mystery divine, Japanese delight. Wish that it was mine. How much is that kitty in the window now? 6-inch fangs so pretty, makes my heart say wow.
I don't see him introduced. Where the heck is he introduced?
Every time I wonder if it's mine to hold. Moonlight dances on its fur, ancient secrets in its gaze. Will it stay or will it stir in the city's neon maze? How much is the kitty in the window? 6-inch fangs on your face. Cost is high, but love is higher. Kitty purrs all day long. Window shopping, dreams come true. Furry friend with fangs for you. Love at first sight, I must say. Take the kitty home today.
Boy, that is hard to find.
How much is kitty in the window? 6-inch fangs on your face. Cost is high, but love is higher. Kitty purrs all day long. Window shopping, dreams come true. Furry friend with fangs for you. Love at first sight, I must say. Take the kitty home today.
Mm. Oh, okay. No wonder I couldn't find it. Hmm. I think I like Marin better. Well, at least he had the same starting letter. I don't like Morrock. It's too much like the bad guys from Jules Verne's Time Machine movie adaptation thing. I think it's the original. It's hard to tell. They remade that so many times. Control Z. Control. Dab nabbit. Ah. Well, that solves that problem. Delete this paragraph. Discard. Rewrite. Control X. Control V. I want the light fading from its face, because that's kind of important. I'm just assuming it wasn't included, because it wasn't in this prompt. Quantum weapon? Improvised. Gotta wait for it to finish writing, I guess. Improvised. there's a Z in there, isn't there? That is not class. Improvised. I think that's it. Improvised weapon discharge. Deafening crack echoed through engineering as the improvised weapon discharge, sending a focused pulse of destabilized energy directly at the metallic entity. The beam struck with blinding intensity, enveloping the humanoid form in cascading waves of iridescent light. Andy's movements slowed as massive face shuddering as quantum disruptions tore through its exotic matter composition. Direct hit! Somebody shouted over the alarms. Tina's moment of triumph evaporated as the explosion rocked the Dawn Striker. The deck plates buckled beneath her hooves, throwing her against a bulkhead. Emergency klaxons shifted to a higher, more urgent perch as red warning lights bathed the engineering bay in crimson. Chief Engineer Marin bellowed his massive form moving toward the core containment area. Quantum feedback overloaded the primary conduits. Tina struggled to her feet, the pain in her injured exoskeleton momentarily forgotten. Through the viewport, she could see the entity's form flickering its previously solid appearance, now unstable, portions of its structure phasing in and out of existence. Core breach imminent. Called out the modern technician, panic evident in his voice. Automated systems failing to compensate, coolant pressure dropping below critical levels. Chief Marin reached the fractured coolant line where the superheated plasma was venting into the covering brilliant blue-white jets. The emergency containment fields were struggling to form, flickering weakly around the breach. Without the coolant flow, the antimatter reactor would destabilize within minutes, taking the entire ship, likely a significant portion of the space station around it with it. Evacuation impossible in this time frame, Marin stayed his voice. I never really calmly assessed the situation. His eyes met Tina's across the chaos of the engineering case Omega scenario without intervention. Before anyone could respond, the chief engineer positioned his massive centaur body directly against the rupture. Using his considerable weight and strength, he pressed his torso against the fractured line, physically sealing the breach with his own body. Chief Tina called out, moving toward him. Stay back, Marin ordered, his voice straining but commanding. Radiation levels critical. Manual override sequence Alpha 7 Delta 9. Execute now. Tina froze, recognizing the sequence as theoretical emergency procedure she studied but never expected to implement. With trembling hands, she moved to the nearest console and began inputting the commands, bypassing safety protocols to reroute coolant flow through the secondary systems. Everybody else clear the area, Marin called out, his face contorted with pain but determination, unwavering. The radiation warnings on his suit flashed critical, displays shifting in the amber. Wow, he has time to spit out 2 sequences. She worked frantically, her fingers flying across the interface with steaming glances. The chief's exoskeleton was beginning to show stress fractures, hairline cracks. How can she see this? And he should be in a vac suit, which I'm assuming is opaque. Protects better. You don't get sunburn that way. Ah, sneeze. Ah, irritation. OPA. I have an idea. Talk to my other AI master. How do you spell opaque? Oh, I got the first 3 letters right. Q-U-E. Retry. I may have to just clear it and console erupted in shower sparks with Tina's improvised quantum weapon fired a blinding beam of energy, rippling with iridescent patterns, lanced toward the humanoid entity. The energy struck the metallic beam directly in its chest, causing it to shudder violently. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. The cascading waves of quantum disruption spread across its surface like ripples in a pond. Direct hit, someone shouted. The entity froze mid-motion, its plasma bead still embedded for millions. All its metallic skin began to flicker with erratic pulses as if struggling to maintain molecular cohesion. Tina held her breath, watching the impossible beneath structure and stabilize under the quantum assault. Deafening explosion rocked the engineering bay, throwing Tina against a bulkhead. Warning klaxon screamed overhead as acid smoke filled the air through the chaos. She heard Chief Engineer Marin's voice, a natural calm in the pandemonium. Primary coolant line breach, containment failing. Tina struggled to her feet, her injured exoskeleton protesting with each movement. Through the smoke, she saw the Chief Engineer standing before a ruptured conduit, form silhouetted by jets of superheated plasma escaping from the fractured line. I guess it emphasizes danger with the plasma. Automated systems failing. Marin called out, his voice steady despite the chaos. Evacuation protocols. No time, Marin cut him off. We'll never reach the blast radius. We'll never clear the blast radius. Marin positioned his massive centaur-like body directly against the breach. Using his considerable weight and strength, he pressed himself against the fractured conduit, physically filling it with his own form. The escaping plasma immediately began to subside. His voice strained but commanding. Reroute secondary coolant systems through junction box 7 alpha override code for 1,946. While these protocols keep changing, and I don't have this on repeat. I thought I had this on repeat, dang it. No, I don't want shuffle. Ah, there we go. Ugh. I'll be back in a sec. Ugh. When I first turn this on, it goes robot on me. It's really annoying. Stay back, your voice strained but commanding. Reroute secondary coolant systems. Engine turn, rush comply, front of forward, and implement its instructions. Tina moved to a nearby console or flyers? Her fingers flying across the interface as she input the override sequences. Radiation levels critical, warned an automated system. Evacuate engineering bay immediately. Marin ignored the warning. His body still braced against the breach. Through his transparent faceplate, Tina could see the strain etched across his features, pain evident in the tight set of his mandibles. Radiation warnings on his suit flashed an angry red, but he remained motionless, holding the line closed with unwavering determination. Secondary coolant rerouted. Emergency containment field isn't stabilizing. Manual override. Marin gasped, his voice growing weaker. Need to hold position until field engages. Through the viewport, Tina could see the entity still frozen in space, its form now flicking erratically as it struggled against the quantum disruption. Their improvised weapon had worked, but at a terrible cost. You can't see the cracks in the exos unless it's on its face. Yeah, you can't see his chest. Dang it, AI. CK cracks in EXOS. Skeleton.
How much is the sugar to the cat in the window? The one with the 6-inch fangs, oh so wild. Its eyes like amber
Go back to the offending bit.
A relic of ancient times, untamed and beguiled.
I like the dramatic death though.
It sings to me, wild and fierce, my fantasy. Meow, meow, roar, it's wild and free. Saber-toothed cat forever in my reverie. How much is the saber-toothed cat? The one
This card.
6-inch fangs. Is it wild? Is it pretty? Can it hang? Can it hang? I see it in the window glowing with eyes that pierce the night. Can it come?
Nah.
Hope it's friendly, not afraid. How much is the kitty? In the window, saber-toothed and fierce, 6-inch fangs grow. Look into its eyes.
700. 800. Okay, quantum beam lance from the Dawn Striker's modified targeting array, cutting through the space from possible colors that made Tina's vision swim. The entity seemed to falter, its massive form shuddering as she concentrated the quantum as the concentrated quantum disruption struck its magnetic surface. Then everything went wrong! A deafening explosion rocked engineering as the overtaxed targeting system blew apart, sending shrapnel flying across the compartment. The deck plates beneath Tina's hooves buckled, and a sickening lurch told her the ship's structural integrity was compromised. Emergency klaxons screamed through the ship, urgent wailing drowned out by the hiss of escaping atmosphere and the groan of stressed metal. Primary coolant line rupture, someone shouted over the chaos. Core breach imminent. Chief Engineer Marin burst through a cloud of superheated steam, his massive centaur-like form moving with surprising agility despite the ship's violent pitching. His vacuum suit showed signs of emergency sealing over multiple impact points, the material struggling to maintain integrity. Radiation levels critical at the core. In the core chamber, he called out, his voice steady despite the pandemonium. Automatic containment systems failing. We have less than 5 minutes before complete breach. Tina's heart hammered against her exoskeleton as she pulled herself toward a still-functioning console. Maria's confirmed Marin's assessment. Quantum backlash had shattered the primary coolant system, and radiation was flooding the engineering section. Without intervention, the core would destabilize completely, take the ship and everyone aboard with it. Can we evacuate? She asked, already knowing the answer. Marin's expansion. Marin's expression hardened inside his helmet visor. No time. The shuttles can't launch with the drive field fluctuating like this. He turned to the fractured coolant line where superheated plasma spewed into the compartment, overwhelming the emergency containment systems. The chief engineer studied it for only a moment before his posture changed, a subtle shift that Tina recognized immediately his decision. Everyone out. Clear engineering now, he ordered, his voice carrying the unmistakable tone of command. The remaining crew hesitated only briefly before moving towards the exit, helping the injured as they went. Tina didn't move. Chief, what are you? Manual override sequence won't work, Marin said. Moving toward the ruptured line, the control circuits are fried. The only way to stop this is to physically hold the line closed. He's taking the time to give an explanation instead of reacting. I'm Uh, it slows it down a bit. It's not as chaotic. Kind of a trope, actually. It might, if I do an expand, it might change that. Well, let's. Expand. Quad 7. 3.7. I kind of like this more more expanded mode for writing.
How much is kitty in the window? 6-inch fangs on your face. Cost is high, but love is high. Kitty purrs all day long. Window shopping dreams come true. Furry friend with fangs for you. Love at first.
Deafening explosion rocked engineering as the overtaxed targeting system blew apart, sending shrapnel flying across the compartment. Fragments of superheated metal tore through consoles and equipment, leaving smoldering holes in their wakes. The deck plates beneath. Tina's hooves buckled with a sickening metallic run. The violent lurch told her that the ship's structural integrity was compromised, which kind of means the spine was snapped. Emergency klaxons screamed through the ship, their urgent wailing drowned out by the hiss of escaping atmosphere and the groan of stressed metal as the Dawn Striker shuddered like a wounded animal. Primary coolant line rupture, somebody shouted over the chaos, their voice barely audible through the cacophony of destruction. Core breach imminent. We're losing containment pressure in sectors 7 through 12. Chief Engineer Marin burst through a cloud of superheated steam, his massive centaur form moving with surprising agility despite the ship's violent pitching. Emergency lighting cast harsh shadows across his exoskeletal features as he navigated the devastation. His vacuum suit showed signs of emergency sealing over multiple impact points, the material struggling to maintain its integrity as it automatically patched itself against the hostile environment. Radiation level is critical in the core chamber, he called out, his voice steady despite the pandemonium surrounding them. Automated containment systems failing. The quantum feedback has compromised the primary shields. In less than 5 minutes before complete breach, maybe less, if the secondary systems go offline. Tina's heart hammered against her exoskeleton as she pulled herself toward a still functioning console, her movements precise despite the terror threatening to overwhelm her. Riot's confirmed Marin's assessment. The quantum backlash had scattered the primary. It just got up and left. And radiation was flooding the engineering section. Diagnostic screens flashed urgent warnings as system after system reported critical failures. Without intervention, the core would destabilize completely, taking the ship, everyone aboard, and possibly the entire Vermilion station with it. Can we evacuate? She asked, already knowing the answer as she frantically tried to reroute power to emergency systems. Marin's expression hardened behind his helmet. His features aren't alien to them. Nope. His features sank in grim determination. No time. The shuttles can't launch with the drive field fluctuating like this. You're not using the Aether stream. God. You're using the Zoth, I think. Although it doesn't seem to be. Am I misspelling it? Nope. Field harmonics are completely destabilized. Any craft trying to break free. Why is that not clicking? Soft drive. Soft field harmonics are completely destabilized. Any craft trying to break free would be torn apart by quantum distortions. Okay, recognizes it now. He turned to the fractured coolant line where the superheated plasma spilled into the containment like luminous blood of a mortal wound. Graphic. Overwhelming the emergency containment systems. Chief Engineer started for only a moment before his posture changed, a subtle shift that Tina recognized immediately as decision. His forehead was planted firmly on the deck, shoulders square, tail lobes rigid with resolve. Everyone out, clear engineering now, he ordered. It's kind of a dumb order. What if I rephrase just this section, this paragraph? Tone command. Remaining crew hesitated only briefly before moving toward the help of the injured as they went. Rephrase. Show, don't tell. No, that's not doing what I want to do. Maybe if I just delete the paragraph. Tina didn't move. Well, then it brings the question, why didn't she move? Let's try rephrasing this. Show, don't tell. Tina's hooves froze to the deck, her eyes widening beneath her visor. Chief, what are you? Manual override sequence won't work, Mern said, moving toward the ruptured line of deliberate steps. The control circuits are fried. The quantum pulse overlaid the entire system architecture. Only way to stop this is to physically hold the line closed until we can reroute systems. There's no other option. The automated repair drones can't function in this radiation field. Before she could protest, Mern positioned his massive body against the fractured coolant line, using his weight and strength to force the breach closed. His exoskeleton creaked audibly under the pressure as he braced himself against the torrent of superheated plasma. The radiation warnings on his suit immediately flashed critical. The display visible through his transparent helmet turning from amber to deep crimson in seconds. Chief, Tina moved toward him, but he stopped her with a sharp gesture, one hand outstretched while the other braced against her rupture. Stay back, I need you at the auxiliary control panel. Despite the obvious pain contorting his features, his voice remained steady, a testament to years of command experience. Reroute the secondary coolant system through junction box 7 alpha authorization code. Marin Delta 97, the system will resist. You'll need to override the safety protocols manually. Tina worked frantically, her fingers flying across the controls as Marin called out additional override sequences. The console sparked beneath her touch, damaged systems. Protesting the commands, she forced through them. Around her, the remaining engineering crew struggled to stabilize the other systems, their movements urgent but precise despite the chaos, a testament to their training and discipline. Boy, in the original, he ordered them out, but apparently nobody followed that order. Their movements urgent but precise. Through the transparent material of his helmet, Tina can see the chief's face contorting with determination. Sweat beaded on his... He's not alien! Aye. Sweat beaded on his features as he strained against the breach. His exoskeleton was visibly straining against the pressure. Frost, how can you see this? That can't see this. I kind of liked it, but I guess I could just rework it. Oh, son of a... You can't see cracks in the exoskeleton because the vac suit is opaque. You... I guess I need to take a break while it's doing this. Ugh. Except I just finished a break, apparently. Ugh. Rather than read it twice, I'm going to expand it and then go through and see what problems the AI put into it. Arr.
Oh, that soft yet so profound, tiny paws that stand their ground. How much for a love so rare, saber-toothed without compare.
AI is fighting me all the way. Deafening crack echoed through engineering as the Dawn Strikers' hull protested against the quantum weapon discharge. Improvised. I want improvised in there, and the AI keeps removing it. EMP imp or IV CDD. The deck lurched violently beneath Tina's hooves, throwing her against the console of bone jarring force. Exoskeleton jarring force. Through the viewport, she witnessed her improvised weapon. Oh, now it's twice. Well, that's what I get for not reading. Improvised weapon struck the metallic humanoid entity with devastating effect. Crackling energy enveloped its massive form, dancing across its surface in jagged patterns of electric blue and white, disrupting the perfect symmetry of its structure. The creature's movements became erratic, its plasma bite flickering and destabilizing as waves of quantum disruption tore through its exotic matter composition. Direct hit, someone shouted from across the engineering bay, their voice barely audible over the cacophony of alarms. Field coherence in the target is collapsing. Whatever that thing is, it's breaking apart. Tina allowed herself a moment of satisfaction as the entity's once fluid movements deteriorated into spasmodic jerks. The quantum disruption was working exactly as she theorized, scrambling the creature's underlying structure at the subatomic level. But their victory was short-lived. The ship's warning klaxons changed pitch, shifting from battle stations to internal emergency, with hair-raising wail that sent chills down Tina's spine. Red emergency lights. Hair-raising. Chitin raising? Antenna raising? I don't know. That works for humans. For mammals, we have hair everywhere. Not sure she does. Hair-raising wail that sent chills down Tina's spine. Red emergency lights. Paved engineering in crimson, casting long, ominous showers as Chief Engineer Barron's voice cut through the chaos with sharp clarity. Genuine fear. Primary coolant breach. Automated containment failing. Everyone away from the section. Away from Section 4. Tina's heart's froze in her chest. Yeah, I keeps assuming she's human. I think. Discard. Context. Codex entries. This one. The hell is off? Try that.
Looking for you to go. No, it's freak. Nowhere to be. Then the spree set me free. Hamster in the void in a digital dream. Burning bright, lost in the street.
Sneezing and my nose is running and I guess I should turn on the air conditioner. Although, what's the temperature like outside? 66 according to my phone. The quantum surge lanced through the Dawn Striker's targeting array, illuminating engineering with a blinding flash, and forced Tina to shield her eyes. The brilliant cascade of energy, concentrated beam of destabilizing quantum particles cut through the air like a spear of pure light, leaving dancing after images on her retinas. Through the viewpoint, the massive humanoid entity convulsed as energy struck its metallic form, disrupting whatever quantum substrate composed its impossible body. Its limb twisted and contorted in ways that defied conventional physics, sections of its surface flickering between solidarity and translucence. Solidity. I don't know how to pronounce that word. It's working, Tina called out, her heart's racing as the readouts confirmed the NAD's destabilization. Diagnostic screens before her displayed cascading waveforms of quantum disruption spreading throughout the NAD structures, its coherence rating dropping precipitously with each passing second. The momentary victory was shattered by a catastrophic sound, screech of metal giving way under extreme pressure, like the death cry of the ship itself. Deck beneath them lurched violently, throwing several crew members to the floor as emergency klaxons blared with renewed urgency, their wailing echoing through the engineering bay in a discordant sympathy of impending disaster. Primary coolant line ruptured, shouted an engineer from the monitoring station, his voice barely audible over the cacophony of alarms. His hooves danced nervously against the deck plating as he struggled to maintain his balance. Core temperature rising beyond safe parameters. We're seeing the critical pressure build up in sectors 7 through 9. Chief Engineer Merrim pushed past junior officers to reach the environmental control panel, his massive swan frame creating a wake of stumbling bodies. It repeats. His massive form moved with surprising agility. Chief Engineer Merrim pushed past junior officers to reach the environmental control panel. Now it's overusing his name. His massive swan. Well, actually, this is necessary. Creating a wake of stumbling bodies. Chief Engineer Merrim pushed past junior officers to reach the environmental control panel. His massive swan frame creating a wake of stumbling bodies. His massive form. That bugs me. His large form. Large form moved with surprising agility, despite the ship's violent shuddering. Each of his four hooves finding purchase on the trembling deck with practiced precision. Gino watched as his hands flew across the interface, attempting to reroute coolant from secondary systems, his fingers dancing across emergency protocols with fluidity of a concert pianist. Automated systems failing, he announced, his voice remarkably. It just occurred to me I need to check and make sure my mic was still on. Automated systems failing, he announced, his voice unwaveringly calm amid the chaos. Manual override required at junction point. Quantum backlash has corrupted the central control nodes. Chief turned to face the engineering crew, his vacuum suit's reflective faceplate revealing nothing of his expression, only mirroring back the fear on the faces of those around him. Approximately 3 minutes before complete core breach. There's no time for evacuation. If we don't contain this now, the entire station will be compromised. Tina's blood ran cold. A chill sprang through her twin circulatory systems. Core breach meant Case Omega told destruction of the ship and everyone aboard. The death toll would be catastrophic, not just for the Dawnstruck, but potentially for Supply Station Vermilion as well. A hollowed-out asteroid base wouldn't withstand the explosive force of a drive core detonation at such close range. Merrim moved with sudden purpose toward the fractured coolant line. Superheated vapor escaped from the breach, filling the section of engineering with deadly haze. It shimmered with an unnatural blue luminescence. Even their vacuum suits couldn't withstand for long caustic mixture of radiation and superheated particles that spewed from the rupture. Sounds drastic. Chief, what are you... began a junior officer, her voice breaking with realization as she watched Marin approach the breach. Began a junior engineer. A manual override requires physical contact, Marin interrupted, his centaur-like body tensing as he prepared himself. The line must be sealed until we can engage emergency containment. The quantum feedback has corrupted the remote systems. There's no other way. Without hesitation, he positioned his massive centaur body against the rupture, using his weight and strength to physically seal the breach, his exoskeleton providing momentary additional protection against the extreme conditions. His vac-suit's warning lights immediately began flashing in angry crimson patterns as the radiation levels spiked around him. The diagnostic readout on his body displayed rapidly climbing numbers that told their own grim story. Reroute auxiliary power to emergency containment grid, he ordered. His voice remarkably steady despite his situation betraying nothing of the agony he must have been experiencing. Authorization code Marin 74 Alpha Omega. The system will need maximum power to the quantum stabilizers. Tina rushed to the nearest console, her fingers trembling slightly as she input the override sequences as Marin called them out. The interface glowed with warning symbols that she methodically bypassed, forcing the system to accept commands that violated every safety protocol in the book. Around her, the remaining engineering crew worked frantically, their movements betraying the desperation they all felt. A desperate dance of survival playing out across the engineering bay. Quantum stabilizers offline, Marin continued, his voice slightly weaker, a strain of his position beginning to take its toll. Bypass circuit 37 and connect directly to the backup manifold. You'll need to manually synchronize the phase harmonics or the field will collapse. Through the viewport. Huh? That feels a little... What viewport? What? Huh? He didn't enter a room, he just grabbed a coolant line. Through the viewport she could see the entity still writhing from her improvised attack, its movements becoming increasingly erratic. Sections of its body phasing in and out of normal space, tendrils of golden energy leaking from ruptures in its surface, dissipating into the void. They had wounded it, perhaps fatally, but at what cost? The price of their desperate gambit was becoming all too clear. Chief, radiation levels in your sector are critical, called out the monitoring officer, his voice tight with barely controlled panic as he watched the readings climb beyond safety thresholds. I think they passed safety thresholds a long time ago. Your suit can't withstand more than another 60 seconds of exposure at these levels. The cellular degradation will be... I'm aware, Marin cut him off with quiet dignity. Proceed with the containment sequence. There's no time for alternatives. Tina's fingers flew across the interface, implementing each override as Marin directed. The holographic display before her showed a three-dimensional schematic of the ship's systems, sections turning from angry red to cautious yellow as her adjustments took effect. The coolant line beneath Marin continued to strain against his weight, but his position held firm, preventing the catastrophic failure that would doom them all. Occasionally his massive tail would twitch involuntarily. Boy, the AI really likes to use the word massive. Let's see. Do I have... in this pile of junk next to my computer... things have fallen down and accrued a rather critical mass, much to my annoyance. There's a glass case in here for some reason. Thought I had a thesaurus in this pile somewhere. Ugh, all this paper has fallen down, buried everything, and I can't find anything. That's kind of annoying. And I'm getting distracted. Ugh. Can't find anything. Book that I don't want or need anymore. Can't find my thesaurus. Well, I mean, I will eventually, I suppose. What the heck? Everything's kind of bugging me today. Why is that? And then awkward positioning, and I'm falling over everything everywhere. So cranky. Where the heck did my thesaurus go? I thought I had it right here. You know, for like incidents like this when I want to look something up. Heck if I can find it. Well, I'm sure I'll find it, you know, when I shut off the stream. Seems to be the way it is. Living in a pile of critical mass. God. Stop using massive, dumb AI. Guess I need to set up a bookshelf. The coolant line beneath Marin continued to strain against his weight, but his position held from preventing the catastrophic failure that would doom them all. Occasionally his massive tail would twitch involuntarily, the only sign of the immense pain he must be enduring. His massive tail. Emergency containment at 60%, Tina reported. Forcing clinical detachment into her voice. 70, 80. The quantum field is stabilizing, but the harmonics are fluctuating and compensating manually. Marin's voice came through the comm system, now noticeably strained, each word seemingly requiring tremendous effort. Cadet, Tina, listen carefully. When containment reaches full power, you'll need to initialize the quantum restart sequence. The others don't have your theoretical knowledge. AI just wants to not be consistent. The others don't have your theoretical knowledge of the Zoff system. You understand the quantum principles better than anyone else on this deck. Tina looked up from her console, meeting Marin's gaze across engineering, even though the opaque what? No! Faceplates are not opaque. That's the point of a faceplate. Well, actually. Star Trek gets around that by making it transparent aluminum, which makes it a metal instead of a... It's a pretty weak metal. I'm so annoyed at not being able to find my thesaurus instantly. Probably someplace, you know, handy. Arg! Even through the that's like the opposite of what that needs to be. T-R-A-N, transparent. Even through the transparent faceplate of his suit, she felt the weight of responsibility passing to her. Torch handed by a mentor to student. In the most dire of circumstances, the faith he placed in her abilities both terrified and strengthened her resolve. I understand, Chief, she replied, forcing steadiness into her voice. Drawing upon her training at the military academy will stabilize the field harmonics and prevent cascade failure. 95%, called the monitoring officer, a note of cautious hope entering his voice for the first time. Containment field stabilizing, quantum resonance approaching normal parameters. Now, Cadet Mariner ordered, his voice barely audible. Little more. Okay, the character was introduced as Chief Marin, but he could have been killed in the first explosion, and then this guy would be the replacement chief officer. Let's see, normal parameters. Quantum resonance approaching nominal parameters. Now, Cadet Marinor's voice barely audible, little more than a whisper. Execute the restart. Remember your training. Feel the field. Don't just read it. Ugh. No, not COTH. Tina activated the sequencer, hands moving with newfound confidence as she implemented the complex restart protocols. She watched as energy flowed through the ship's systems once more, the Zoth's drive field slowly rebuilding itself, quantum particles realigning into their proper configurations. The emergency containment field flared to life around the eruption coolant line, a shimmering blue barrier that finally took the pressure off Chief Marin's position. A soft hum of stabilizing systems gradually replaced the harsh wail of alarms. As the field engaged fully, Marin slumped forward, his massive form suddenly limp against the machinery, all four legs buckling simultaneously. The two engineers rushed to his aid, carefully moving him away from the now contained breach, struggling under the weight of his centaur-like body. His normally rigid exoskeleton seemed somehow softer, as if the radiation had begun to affect even that protective layer. Through the viewport, Tina saw the light fade from the entity's form, its once brilliant surface glowing dim and inert. Her attack succeeded and the mysterious ship was disabled, drifting lifelessly against the backdrop of stars, occasionally pulses of energy dissipating harmlessly into space, like the final heartbeats of a dying creature. But the victory felt hollow as she watched the medical team working frantically over Chief Marin's motionless body. When did they get there? His vacuum suit showed no external damage, but the radiation warnings continued to flash critical as his diagnostic pedal on the medical scanner showed alarming deterioration in the cellular structure. The readouts told a story that none of them wanted to acknowledge. The radiation exposure far exceeded survivable levels. Get him to medical now, ordered the senior engineer. Huh? His voice tight with emotion, all four hooves stamping anxiously against the deck. Priority 1 transport, alert the medical team. As they carried Marin's massive body from engineering, his two-lobed tail dragging lifelessly behind him, Tina found herself suddenly in command. Boy, this is a jumbled mess. Junior officer looking to her for direction. What? The weight of responsibility shifted heavily on her shoulders. That's kind of a jumbled mess.
How much is the kitty in the window? Saber-toothed and fierce, 6-inch fangs grow. Look into its eyes, mystery
See.
divine.
No! God!
Wish that it was mine. How much is that kitty in the window now? 6-inch fangs so pretty, makes my heart say wow. Wow. Sharp teeth like no other, eyes that pierce my soul. Every time I wonder if it's mine to hold.
G-U-M-B-O-E-D, jumbled mess.
On its fur, ancient secrets in its gaze. Will it stay or will it stir? In this city's neon maze. Meow, meow, roar, it sings to me. Wild and fierce, my fantasy. Meow, meow, roar, it's wild and free. Saber-toothed cat forever in my reverie. Saber-toothed kitty in the window, 6-inch fangs on your face. Cost is high, but love is higher. Kitty purrs all day long. Window shopping, dreams come true. Furry friends with fangs for you. Love at first sight, I must say. Take the kitty home today.
I could have Morok show up again. Gee, thanks. You're kind of telling me stuff. The AI is kind of telling me stuff I already know. Ugh.
Is a saber-toothed cat in the window, the one with the 6-inch fangs, oh so wild. Its eyes like amber fire, fierce and the glow, a relic of ancient times, untamed and beguiled. Meow, meow, roar, it sings to me. Wild and fierce, my fantasy. Meow, meow, roar, it's wild and free. Saber-toothed cat forever in my reverie. How much is the saber-toothed kitty, the one with the 6-inch fangs? Is it wild? Is it
More.
pretty? Can it hang? Can it hang?
Morlock?
With eyes that pierce the night. Can it come where I'm going? Hope it's
Oh,
friendly, not
headache.
right. How much is a kitty in the window? Saber-toothed and fierce. 6-inch fangs grow.
What's a good random name for in this one?
Mystery divine, Japanese delight. Wish that it was mine. How much is that kitty in the window now? 6-inch fangs so pretty, makes my heart say wow. Sharp teeth like no other, eyes that pierce my soul. Every time I wonder if it's mine to hold. Moonlight dances on its fur, ancient secrets in its gaze. Will it stay or will it stir in the city's neon maze?
Ah! Nope. I've used up my credits. I'm cut off. Oh, my head.
Window shopping, dreams come true. Furry friend with fangs for you. Love at first sight, I must say. Take the kitty home today.
Bump my mic, why don't I?
But love is higher. Kitty purrs all day long. Window shopping, dreams come true. Furry friend with fangs for you. Love at first sight, I must say. Take take the kitty home today.
Yeah. My feet are doing weird things. Prompts? What's this? I thought there was a link. What time is it? This is annoying. There is a... Pretty sure there's a way to do this. It's exasperating. Oh, this is annoying. What the... I was kind of getting into the groove of it, although I did feel like I was wrestling with the AI. Open ROUTER? Open router. Ah! Wait. Ow. Ugh. Manage account. Oh, there it is. Duh, dumbass. So why does it say that I'm completely out? No, I don't want to auto top up. Give me a flippin' headache. Did it kick me out? I gotta change my billing. Ah!
How much is the saber-toothed kitty in the window, shining eyes so bright in the window light? I see it and my heart goes wild, oh wow.
I'm in the my room's a bit on the dark side, so that actually kind of hurts.
Kitty, kitty, so aloof. Kitty in the window bright. How much for that lovely sight? Soft yet so profound. Tiny paws that stand their ground. How much for a love so rare? Saber-toothed without compare. I've saved up all my dreams and wishes true, just to be where you, in the window view. Kitty, kitty, saber-tooth. Kitty, kitty, so aloof. Kitty in the window bright.
It says I have 8, but it's not acting like I have 8. Okay, I think it worked. I'm not really sure how. I thought I'd done that with the card, but apparently I directly linked it to my account. Oof. Let me check. I feel like I'm fighting everything today on my computer wise.
How much is the saber-toothed kitty in the window, shining eyes so bright in the window light? I see it and my heart goes wild, oh wow. Mystery and might, that smile ignite. Kitty, saber-tooth. Kitty, so aloof. Bright. How much for that
Damn nabbit.
more than soft yet so profound? Tiny paws that stand their ground. How much for a love so rare? Saber-tooth without compare. I've saved up all my dreams and wishes true, just to be where you, in the window view. Kitty, saber-tooth. Kitty, so aloof.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't attach it to my car, which I thought I did. Just went directly to my account and took it from there. That's annoying. Removes protections.
I've saved up all my dreams and wishes true, just to be where you, in the window. Kitty, saber-tooth.
1 minute. 1 minute. I got a headache developing. I think I'm gonna call it for today. I might do some writing after I take a break offline. But that's it for today. Bye.